Taehyung's emotional return at Jin's Encore concert, the night that reignited BTS's magic. Hello ARMY. Welcome back to BTS Fans Update, the channel where every story about BTS is not just news, but a journey of love, emotion, and memories that connect millions of hearts across the world. Tonight, we'll take you through a night that brought tears, laughter, and nostalgia. A night when Kim Taehyung, the man the world knows as V, returned to the stage in a way no one could have imagined. This is not just another performance story. This is the night BTS's magic came alive again. A night that no one saw coming. No one, not even the most hopeful ARMY, could have predicted what would unfold at Incheon World Cup Stadium. During the second night of Jin's Run Seekjin EP Tour Encore concert, as the massive crowd waited, their ARMY bombs glowing like a galaxy of purple stars, the stadium lights began to dim. A hush fell over the audience. The air shifted, a feeling that something unforgettable was about to happen. And then, a silhouette appeared at the far end of the stage. The giant LED screen behind him lit up with the words, "Happy EP Tour in Incheon, Encore." The crowd gasped. Some screamed. Some stood frozen. And then, the moment became clear. It was Kim Taehyung. The return of the grace, elegance, and emotion. There he stood, tall and calm, wearing a perfectly tailored black suit that gleamed softly under the spotlight. His hair was neatly styled, his steps slow yet full of confidence. But his eyes, they told a deeper story, of longing, of gratitude, and of memories that had been sleeping for far too long. The microphone touched his lips, and in a soft voice that trembled with emotion, he said, "I missed you." 3 simple words. But those words broke through every barrier of time and distance. Tears streamed down from countless eyes in the crowd. For ARMYs who had waited for years to see him like this again. It was more than just a greeting. It was a reunion of hearts. Love Me Again, a song that spoke for the soul. As the first notes of Love Me Again echoed through the stadium, a deep silence swept over everyone. You could hear the wind, the echo of his breath, the heartbeat of thousands. Taehyung's voice, rich, smooth, and sincere, floated across the air like a confession. Each lyric seemed to say, "I'm here. I'm still me, and I never forgot you." There were no fireworks, no dancers, no distractions. Just V, a man standing alone on stage, pouring his heart into every word. The purple lights surrounded him like a halo. And in that moment, time itself seemed to stop. When Jimin appeared, a beautiful reunion. Just as the crowd thought the moment couldn't get more emotional, a familiar figure appeared from the audience aisle. Running, waving, smiling. It was Park Jimin. The entire stadium exploded in cheers. Taehyung turned his head, and the instant he saw Jimin, a wide, genuine smile spread across his face. He couldn't hold back his laughter. They hugged briefly, then stood side by side, facing the massive audience. The purple lights reflected in their eyes, creating a scene that felt straight out of a dream. There was no choreography, no script, just 2 brothers, sharing the same stage again, laughing, teasing, singing together. Behind them, Jin stood smiling proudly. The eldest Taehyung looked at the 2 of them, with a face full of love and amusement, as if saying, "Look at my little brothers, they're home." A stage that felt like home again. The 3 of them stood there, Jin, Taehyung, and Jimin, as if time had rewound to BTS's golden years. They didn't need to say much. Their eyes, their gestures, their laughter. It was enough to tell the world that BTS's bond was still unshakable. The fans felt it too. Every ARMY bomb glowed brighter, forming a sea of purple light that waved gently to the rhythm of the music. On Twitter, one fan wrote, "It felt like BTS was back. Not in a comeback stage, but in a moment that reminded us why we fell in love with them in the first place." Taehyung's words that melted hearts. When the song ended, Taehyung bowed deeply. The applause was thunderous, endless. Jin stepped forward and said with a grin, "Everyone, please welcome our special guest tonight, Kim Taehyung." The crowd roared. But for Taehyung, it was more than a guest appearance. It was a homecoming. He took the mic, voice trembling softly. "It's been so long. I missed you all." The cheers that followed felt like waves crashing onto the shore. He reached out his hand toward the audience, as if trying to touch each one of them. Every note was a love letter. For the next song, Taehyung sang with a calm but powerful energy. His voice carried honesty. No vocal tricks, no showy techniques. Just pure emotion. Every lyric felt like a whisper. "Thank you for waiting. I'm still here. I love you." In that moment, the boundary between artist and fan disappeared. It was no longer a concert. It was a conversation between hearts. The night BTS's magic returned. Korean media would later write, "That night, Taehyung's performance symbolized BTS's reconnection with the world." It wasn't about one song or one member. It was about the feeling that BTS, as a family, was slowly coming home again. The hashtags #Taehyung is back, #LoveMeAgainLive, and #BTS reunion dominated every platform. ARMYs shared clips, photos, and teary messages. He didn't just sing, he spoke from his soul. This was the moment the magic returned. After the music faded, as the final notes echoed away, Taehyung smiled and bowed one last time. Jin wrapped an arm around him. Jimin patted his shoulder. And the three of them stood together, gazing out at the ocean of purple light that shimmered like starlight beneath them. Taehyung whispered softly, almost to himself, "Thank you for waiting for me." Simple words, but they carried years of meaning. He knew the fans who waited, who streamed his songs, who wrote messages even when he was away. And that night, he gave that love back in the purest way possible. Through his presence, his smile, his song. Backstage, quiet moments of gratitude. Backstage, the cameras captured a softer moment. Taehyung sat beside Jin, watching the playback of their performance on a monitor. He chuckled quietly, covering his face with his hand. Then, almost in a whisper, he said, "I will never forget tonight." Those words spread online like wildfire, turning into a quote that fans will hold dear forever. The morning after, the world reacts. The next morning, Taehyung was everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Naver, Weverse, YouTube. Photos of him in that black suit flooded the internet. Some wrote, "He looked like a man who found his soul again." Others said, "His smile healed something inside me." Korean media praised him for his emotional depth, calling the performance a reunion that reminded the world of BTS's timeless bond. And so, the story continues. As the crowd left the stadium that night, many stayed behind, still singing, "Love Me Again" softly under their breath. Under the glowing Incheon night sky, the purple banners waved gently in the wind, reading, "Welcome back Taehyung." It felt as though the universe itself was celebrating his return. The night didn't just belong to BTS. It belonged to everyone who believed in them, who waited, who loved them through every distance and silence. And so, ARMY. That night wasn't the end of a story. It was the beginning of a new one. A night when Taehyung's voice became the bridge between the past and the future. Between separation and reunion. Between longing and love. That night in Incheon, BTS wasn't just remembered, they were reborn. And as Taehyung whispered, "I love you," the world knew one thing for sure. The magic of BTS will never